moving back to El Segundo and coming here to Hilltop. And it's been an amazing year. We're so glad and so blessed to be part of this church. This congregation so embodies the fruits of the Spirit. This place is what we've been talking about: love, joy, and peace. As I first was asked by John to help out with one of the series one of the lessons in the series, the first one he thought I was going to end up taking from him was gentleness. And if you know me well, you'll know why that made my wife laugh. And the kids both laughed out loud. Then it got switched to patience today. And that one isn't quite as ironic, but it's definitely one I struggle with. I don't know about you, but it seems to me like as we look at the fruit of the Spirit, there's some that are easier than others, right? Some take a little less self-discipline than others. And patience can be a hard one. I think one of the things I'd like to discuss today is, as you look into patience, you look at scriptures on patience, and you look up lessons on patience. We've been taught and presented lessons and examples of patience our whole lives. We know what it means. It can mean a lot of different things in different situations. But the challenge with patience isn't the knowledge, it's what do we do with it? How do we actually acquire it in our lives? How do we practice patience? Particularly when we're in a world that is so driven. A world that is so driven. I don't know about you, but for me, on a regular basis, I'll look at my week coming up, and it looks like the plan for a month, not like a week. We have so many things to do. I don't have time to be patient. I don't have time to be patient. You made me giggle as I came in a few minutes ago and I realized that patient looks like it's in a hurry, doesn't it? It's like, be patient, fast. It's leaning. It wasn't on purpose, but I think it fits. When my kids were a little bit younger, we would regularly sing that song. Maybe you remember I don't remember what they were called. They were little tapes. It was that song, the have patience, don't be in such a hurry. Remember that? It took like 15 minutes to sing the song. It just kept on going and going. And by the time we got done, the kids were like, oh my gosh, I get it already. The fruit of the Spirit, all of them, are a result of faith. This is going to be the key of what I want to talk about this week. These aren't things that stand on their own. These aren't the purpose. These aren't the tool. These aren't the goal. These are the result. They're the fruit of the labor. They're the fruit of what we've planted. They're not the basis. They're the result. The basis of what we're called to is faith. Unending, big, giant, complete faith. Faith in God. Faith in goodness of God. Faith that God has positive things planned for you specifically. Not just, oh, God's great in this big, giant world, but for you personally, for you. He knows your name. He knows your thoughts. He knows your every need. We are called to faith. And that faith brings love, joy, peace, patience. Sometimes beyond our recognition. As we go through the next 5 or 6 weeks of this series, I'm sure there's going to be some that are coming up still that will be a challenge. Particularly for me, self-control. I'm pretty good at the joy, at the kindness. Peace, patience, nah. So why is that a hard one? Other than the obvious, our cell phones are ringing all the time. Why is it a hard one? I'm going to tell you a little story. If you've been to our house, and a few of you guys have, we don't just have dogs, we have beasts. We have an American Bulldog named Mickelson, whose head is about that big. I'm not exaggerating. He's a monster. He thinks he weighs about 8 pounds, but he's a big boy. And then we have another named Arnie. Phil Mickelson, Arnie Palmer. Arnie is also a pretty large dog, but he's not as big as me. And for many years, we open-fed the dogs. We had a bowl. You can't give them a bowl. It's a bowl. And we just kept it full. When they were hungry, they would eat. They would just kind of leave it there. This is when we were in Colorado. And I always thought to myself that we would have less random animals that would get to the food here than we did in Denver. Actually, it's the opposite. When we got here, we realized we couldn't keep open feeding them, even though we liked it and allowed them to eat when they were hungry and not worry about it when they weren't. When we got here, raccoons kept showing up, and possums. So we decided, okay, we can't keep open feeding the dogs. We're gonna have to just feed them on a regular basis, like normal people like try and stuff. So we start feeding the dogs on a daily basis. Now they're not getting any less food. In fact, to be honest with you, they're probably eating more than they did before. But when they had the big bowl, and they knew the food was always there, they lived in a state of abundance. They lived with a mindset that was infinite. There was all the food they could need. The dogs never fought with each other. When we would come to refill the bowl, they didn't come running. They were like, yeah, Dad always puts my food in. Well, actually, Mom probably. They lived in a state of abundance. But we changed the plan. And we started feeding them on a daily basis. They're getting more food, but they don't realize it. And their mindset changed to one of scarcity. And they started thinking in, I better get mine. And now they keep fighting, and we keep having to separate the dogs. And Mickelson, because he's older, started off as kind of the dominant one. But now he just doesn't have the energy to keep up with our dog. And so Arnie keeps stepping in and fighting with Mick, and they're growling, and it's just, what changed? What changed? In your life, do you have somewhere of that? I think all of us have places in our lives where the reality of the situation is that we have abundance. There is more love and joy and peace and opportunity and money and freedom and grace and forgiveness and jobs and houses and cars. There is more out there than we could ever need. But we have this point of view of, oh, I better control it. I gotta make sure I keep it under control. Joy, peace, patience are the exact opposite emotion of stress, of anxiety, of worry. Have you ever really gotten worried about something and you were just stressed out that it was going to end up bad? Did the worry help? For me, when I worry, I just make it worse. Because now I'm not thinking clearly, and I start living in a mental state of scarcity. God only makes things two ways, perfect and in abundance. And Christ tells us that he has a life for us of abundance. We like to hear that and go, well, sure, maybe an abundance of grace and love and, the Bible stuff, but he's not going to give me abundance of what I need. The reality is he wants to. Patience happens when we have enough trust and faith to know and sit and live in peace and patience that God will take care of it. He's got you. And the stuff that freaks us out, he goes, seriously, that's all we're dealing with? Like, I made the world. I have big things to do. You want me to worry about that with you? I'm good. Not so much. But they seem big to us, particularly when we get in that moment of scarcity. The thing is, we have to be intentional about how we think. Now, we're all going to want to say, well, we should be consistent everywhere we go. However, you and I both know that you act differently, speak differently, carry yourself differently, use different words, use a different tone of voice, depending on who you're talking to, where you are, and what you're trying to do. We talk differently with our spouse than we do with our boss. I hope. I will never outgrow the frustration with myself, particularly in junior high, but some in high school too, of knowing what a different person I was in different places. Now, as I've grown up and matured, got fat, I'm a little more consistent, but we still deal with different people in a different way. And actually, that's appropriate and good. My point is that it's intentional. Maybe you don't consciously sit there and think, I'm going to speak to Michael this way, and I'm going to speak to Ben this way. I don't do that. But do I do that? Sure I do. They're different people. I have a different relationship with them. Now, what does that have to do with patience, with peace? We have to be intentional with how we go throughout our day. We have to be intentional about our thoughts and our mind and what we're thinking on a regular basis. See, with patience, we already know, we all agree, raise your hand, do you need more patience in life? We all do, right? We know that we do. So how do we get it? How do we do it? That takes us to the next slide. The biggest difference, the biggest distance in the world, the biggest gap on earth, is the difference between what we know and what we do. I know I need to eat broccoli and carrots and chicken, and I don't. I go to In-N-Out. Because I like my double animal style. Why do you think I moved here? We know what we need to do. It's doing it. That's the hard part. And as I sat down over the last few weeks to look at, okay, what am I supposed to present on patience? How can I possibly bring something to the table that makes people go, oh, never heard that before? You know, I don't know that I can. I don't know that anybody can. But I'll tell you what we can do as a group, that each and every one of us can sit down and say, in my Monday to Friday, in my Saturday and Sunday with my family, how do I intentionally think differently? How do I attach an emotion to an action in order to take it into practice and change who I am? Change how you see me. Change how I affect the people around me during the day. It's in the little things. A couple weeks ago, I was on a very large conference call with 1,500 people or so, and it's a mentorship program that I'm involved in. And our mentor gave us a challenge. And the first part seemed obvious until I actually started to try to do it. He said, you know, throughout our day, we go to Starbucks, and we go to the grocery store, and we go to the gas station, and we deal with our boss, we deal with our teacher, we deal with all these people. I want you to think just for a second, during the course of a regular day, how many people do you interact with who are paid, their job is to be nice to you? All the people I just mentioned, that's literally their job. The barista's job isn't to give you coffee. A monkey can make the coffee. They can automate the coffee. What's their job? To be nice to you. That's their job. What's the waiter and waitress's job? What's the guy at the gas station's job? What's the lady checking you out at Ralph's job? Her job isn't to make sure you pay. Her job is to be nice to you. How many people during our day do we completely ignore that moment? And so his challenge to us was that for the rest of this week, whenever you walk into a public place, put the phone away, get in your line, and physically grab your hands and just go, and just be there for a second. Find someone to smile at. Don't make a big deal, don't be grandiose, but just say hi. So during that week, I tried to do that. And everywhere I went, I thought to myself, who's here who is not getting paid attention to? Who's getting ignored? Who can I just smile at and say, hey, cool shirt, man. That is a really pretty dress. Try to not be creepy about it. It's actually a strange habit of mine. I am that kind of guy, and I freak people out sometimes. It's really kind of fun. This year I work at some high schools. I'm part-time thing. And I'm a Jordan guy. I love Jordans. And anytime I see kids in Jordan, I'm like, dude, nice Jordans, those are sick. And the kids go, yeah, whatever, creepy dude. Like, they're freaking out. But during that week, let me give you one example. We went into a pizza place around Main Street. And I had called in the order. And when I got there, I expected it to be done, and it wasn't yet. And typically what I would do is I'd say, great, I'll be ready in a minute. I'll sit down, grab my phone, hop on Facebook, send someone a text, do something, check up on what's going on. And I started to do that, and I caught myself and went, no, don't do that. And I put it away, and I just looked over at the guy. So is this your story? And with one question, I opened a floodgate. This dude told me his entire life story. But you know what? I made his day. Now the point isn't to say, wow, how great I am. My point is all it took was a question, one question. I didn't tell him anything. I didn't preach at him. I didn't say, you should come to church with me. I just said, hey man, how you doing? I asked him a question about who he was. And over a 20-minute conversation, I learned a lot about him. And now I've gone back in twice. He knows my name. And I come in, I say, Jose, what's up, man? I made a connection. When we have patience for that second, and I turned everything off and I was just patient for a minute, and I sat in the moment just to see what God might want to do. That's the kind of thing we can do to help us look at things from another person's point of view. See, the thing is, we don't just want to treat others as we want to be treated. We need to treat them as they want to be treated. Early in my professional career, I'm in sales. Big surprise. I was taught this chart. And the chart we were supposed to keep with us every time. Every time we went to a sales presentation, we were supposed to look at the chart real quick. And all the chart said was, you're here. And every single person you talk to, this is true for every single one of us, in every aspect of life. Every person you talk to has an impression of where they stand in relation to you. Well, some are just our friends. They see us as equal. We talk to that person a certain way, right? You wouldn't say to your friend who's equal, excuse me, sir, would you be willing to go to lunch with me this afternoon? You'd say, dude, get in the car, let's go. Right? Some are equal. But some people, when they have an interaction with you, they view it as they're in a higher status than you. Maybe they're at the same status than you. Maybe they think you're at a higher status than they are. The reality of it is, it doesn't matter what you think where they are. All that matters is what they think, how they view the relationship. Now, how does this have anything to do with patience? Let me tell you. When we lose our patience with other people, it's usually because we have misinterpreted where they think they are on this scale. Do you ever have situations where someone reacts in a way that just baffles you? Like, what is this person thinking? That's the point. When we have patience with others, when we look at it from their point of view, not our point of view, but flip it, where are they coming from with this? How can I have patience with them, with their reaction, with their words, with their point of view? Because when I have patience and look at it from their point of view, I can connect, I can communicate, I can understand, I can hear them. It's really hard to hear someone we don't understand. When someone reacts in a way that makes us go, I don't know what to do with you. Do we hear them? No, we're just so frustrated. And when we look from their point of view, we can have patience with them much more. Ginger is always a really good example of that moment to me. I tend to be, let's go. I want to do 100 things at once. If I'm only doing 3, I'm bored. I want to go. And particularly for us, when we're all together, if we're all in the car, I tend to be the one driving. And I'm that guy that goes, oh my goodness, get out of the lane, get out of the way. Would you go already? And Ginger will say, what? You don't know when maybe they're trying not to spill their coffee, or maybe they don't know where they're going. And I go, don't defend the idiot. I can call him an idiot if I want to. I'm in my own car. She's like, no, just you don't know what's going on. She does that really, really well. We have to just think about where someone else is coming from. Patience is, I think, 3 different levels. Michael mentioned earlier that one of the things I want to address today is that we have patience with God, God's patience with us. We have patience with others, we have patience with ourselves. God's patience is about timing, both his and ours. I mentioned before that what's the exact opposite of love? Oh, we lost our L, and we keep losing letters. When we don't have love, joy, peace, patience, what instead comes up? That's the anxiety and the worry and the control, where stress comes from. My dad and I were just talking about this before worship started today. Maybe you don't do this. I tend to have this flaw. No matter what job is given to me, no matter what task I have to accomplish, I tend to want to look busy. Anybody watch Seinfeld? Seinfeld friends? There's a Seinfeld episode where George tells Jerry, if you sit at your desk and you just go, all the time, you look like you're really busy. You must be accomplishing something. You ever been given a task that's really not that big of a deal? But you try to make it look like you're really working hard because it makes you feel important? I don't know, maybe you don't want more work. I don't know why I do it, but I tend to do it. That's when we lose that moment of God's timing. If we're in tune with the trust and faith that God does have your back, we say this all the time. Really think about this for a second. God has plans for you. He wants to bless you. God is not up there like an Olympic judge watching gymnastics. It drives me insane. I watch gymnastics and go, oh my goodness, did you see that? That was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And they go, oh, well, she breathed wrong. And it's an 8.5 instead of a 10. What? She did what? They pick on stuff that's so little. I think sometimes we think about God that way. We think he's up there like an Olympic judge going, oh, wasn't perfect, Debbie. Gotcha. Your triple half back flip that no normal person could do wasn't perfect. So we're going to think, yeah, God's not an Olympic judge, guys. God's a fan, not a critic. God is your fan. He is not your critic. Let me say that one more time. Hear this. God is a fan of you. He paid the ticket to come watch you play. He did. He wants to rejoice in you. He wants you to be this absolutely remarkable, amazing person and give him the glory because he knows what he created you to be able to do. When we lose that trust that God wants to bless us, that God believes in me, in you, that's when we lose our patience. Because instead we go, oh, got to make sure I impress the judge. I better keep my stuff together, man. I got to make sure everything's on time. I got to make sure I'm accomplishing as much as I can. I got to make sure everybody likes me. I got to make sure no one finds out about the stuff I don't want to know. Because I don't want to get judged. I don't want to get nicked. That critic's going to get me. Guys, that's not faith. That's not faith. And when we live that way, we lose. We're robbed of our joy and our peace and our patience. Thank you. That was funny. Come on. That's when we lose that. When we sit in our faith with God, we not only have to remember to have patience with God, because we never know what his plans are, but think about how much patience he has with you. I'm a world-class idiot. I am so thankful he's patient with me, because I screw up so much more often than I get it right. Can you relate to that? Can you relate to the idea of not wanting to get caught as a fraud? God knows, and he still thinks you're awesome. So why are we trying to control it? Where does the worry and the stress and the anxiety come from? It goes back to the example of the dogs. Just because there's not a giant food in front of you doesn't mean you're not going to get fed every day. Stop worrying about it. Stop worrying about it. You don't have thumbs to pour your own food anyway. Mom and Dad, they got your back. We need to have trust and faith and patience and understand that God wants to bless us. And it's the same thing with others. If God has that much patience with me, where do I get off not having patience with you? How arrogant is that? How incredibly disconnected from the truth is it to lose patience with each other? What a jerk. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. When we lose our cool on each other, and particularly as a parent, preaching to me, as an employee or an employer, as a spouse, who do we think we are? That we want God's patience, don't we? Yeah, we want that second, third, fourth, 155th chance. We got to make sure we give it too. And back to what we were talking about before, about the communication. When we understand where the other person is coming from, it really helps us to have patience with who they are. See, because here's the thing. There's a massive lie that Satan is telling our society right now, and he's been doing it for a while. And he disguises lies as good things. Satan is an idiot. Satan doesn't show up hot in the red dress and make it obvious. He hides stuff, and he tells us things that sound really good, that sound like they might even be scripture, and they're not. Have you heard the lie of, well, everyone is created equal? The Bible says so. No, not so much. In fact, it says the opposite. Equal means the same. Equal means I can trade you for you, for you, for you, doesn't matter who I plug in. The Bible tells us the opposite. The Bible tells us each and every single one of us, God knew before we were conceived that you were going to be special. We're going to be perfect in His eyes. That every single one of us